Hey, on the wrestling front, I should note that next week, because of a schedule change due to the playoffs, Dynamite and AEW's Dynamite and NXT are going to be up against each other. And the news today was that, this would be tomorrow night, I should say, if you're listening on Monday. I can never get that right. You guys had to do this all the time when you did your promos. And tonight in Boston.
Yeah,
So
they were. Yeah, they had about that much of a convincibility to them.
So tomorrow, NXT is packing their roster. WWE getting ready to unveil John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Paul Heyman,
Braun,
and Braun.
because
And I think
Paul's going to be in Braun's
that's
corner.
right. He's going to be in his corner, right? But I think that, AEW, they're on tonight as we're taping, so maybe more is going to happen. But Edge, I think, is the only thing I saw enticing anyone. Edge's first match will be tomorrow night if you're listening on Monday. Kevin, how the hell does AEW compete? WWE's the depth of their roster. Just by throwing a few more people on NXT is going to draw. What do you do? Because if you can't do it with your roster, what kind of gimmickry can you do to compete if you're AEW?
I just don't think.
Head to head.
I just think that you're back in that situation where when I came into the business, where WCW was WCW and WWF was WWF. And there's not going to be a Monday Night War,
But when there was, I'm glad you brought that up because that was in my notes to bring up. You guys had, when you had WWE and WCW, the roster was the first part of the war, right? Like people showing up on WCW. You never knew who you were going to see next week. What ex-WWE guy was going to be in the NWO. So at first, it's the roster that is the competition. You don't have that here because obviously the weight of the WWE roster, you can't compare if you're AEW. But then after the initial, in the ratings war days, in the WCW, WWE days, after the rosters are set, now it comes down to booking, writing.
Well, the number one thing that we never came close, even during the 83 weeks, man, we didn't touch fucking WWE's production. They're so good at packages, like the Peacock thing they did on Cody. It's like if they want to get you over, they can make it feel like a 30 for 30 ESPN special. They can almost make it feel legit, like what this guy's doing is absolutely fucking legitimate.
But they didn't have to though, actually, because
No, but I'm just saying they have that
sure
ability. To me, it's just like AEW is the Staples Center, and it's a new arena, and it's got all the bells and whistles, but all of a sudden, man, like WWE just decides that we're gonna fucking do our shows in the Sphere. Like what? Yeah, we're just gonna do our shows in the Sphere now. That's just the way it is. It's always going to be that way. You're never gonna fucking, you're never gonna.
Don't ever be a close competitor again.
Especially with 17 people in your staff.
Yeah, we went from 800. What do we have? 800. We started with, and then I think it was down to 105 by the end of the show with
some fucking limited liability holding company in fucking Britain that was doing yacht trading.
But so, my point being, can your booking, can your writing, can your matches, Can that be enough?
You
If
know,
you're
I
AEW.
watched the Wembley show back,
Uh-huh.
and like that was, I mean, that's not, you know, it's like that's nothing to shake. That was a very. I remember the first time they ran they played the U.S. Open tennis wise. You know, it's just like they you've got to pick, like, you know, like if I'm AEW, like I'm running Red Rock. I'm probably going outside of the, and they've got, you know, they've got the Premium League soccer stadium, football,
Mm-hmm.
if we may. Um, I think that they could. I think what the cons have is they have um, the crossover of the NFL, of the Premium League. I think that they've got to look at ways that they can take the product and maybe make it more global.
Using some of the other assets.
Yes.
Don't cut it off from the other things that they own.
No. Because
Interesting.
if it's just, I mean, it's, you'll notice that the WWE has gotten away a lot from the picture in a picture.
Oh, in the presentation.
Yeah, they've gotten away from a lot of that, and I think that people have realized, especially since I pointed out every time I get a chance, that nothing happens during the picture, which means if you're DVR and it fucking just go right to the front.
Go right through the commercial.
Yeah, go to the full screen. Um, it's like FX. You just look for the mature. You know, you look for the M. Just there's the M. Okay, I can watch that.
Be a good show.
I'm through the commercials. So
Well,
I don't know. I mean, it's just I pray that Edge doesn't get hurt.
well, of course, yeah.
You know, I pray that, you know, I mean, I just, you know, it's um, but he's a great addition, and you know, one of the things that, like, their style is so different than the WWE style. Like it's kind of more of an indie riffic kind of a, but
So should they be content to stay there then? Why
no,
are we going to try
think
to be the major leagues if we're?
I think that by bringing in somebody like Edge, I mean, he has always worked like a very main event style, like a WWE. He's been on top of the WWE a long time. I think you put him with some of them younger guys, and stop the fucking, you know, stop some of the bad habits that the other guys have,
Mm-hmm.
and use a little bit more psychology and a little bit better storytelling.
We'll see. It'd be interesting to see. Tyler Blair. Kev, any thoughts on HBK saying he'd welcome the chance to work with Punk in NXT?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
No thoughts.
God bless him.
Anyone else have a quick? Sometimes no answer is the answer, as you know. Headingite, has Kev or Sean seen anything on the upcoming The Claw movie about the Von Erichs? MJF is in it, as is Zac Efron, and the guy from The Bear, Jeremy Allen White. I don't know anything about this. Interesting, though. I'll look into it. Hope it's being handled tastefully. Not a fun story, the Von Erich story. What else we got here? Anyone? Heading out again.